Y'all see him in the streets struggling, young, dumb, and thuggin', give a fuck about nothing. Stuck at rock bottom, trying to come up on something. Pumping from sundown to sun.
What's up, guys? Street Justice here. Welcome back to my channel. We are back to the reaction to Game of Thrones on this Game of Thrones Thursday. This is Season 3, Episode 7, The Bear and the Maiden Fair. Now, I don't know if we're actually going to see a bear this episode or if it's just another case of someone being named that, such as the Hound or the Mountain. I'm sure we'll find out shortly. As for the last episode, I actually really enjoyed that action set piece sequence between Jon Snow and the other wildlings. That whole sequence was amazing. That's something that you would typically only see in movies. It felt like a blockbuster action scene, so to see that in a TV show was really impressive. And I thought the whole thing was fantastic. But we also saw Theon and his captor, the Hornblower. That was also fantastic, even though that torture is pretty freaking brutal. As for the remainder of this season, I know the royal wedding is coming up. It might be the only royal wedding I've ever looked forward to, so I'm definitely excited about that, and the first one I'm ever going to tune in for. So yeah, hopefully some shit goes down at that wedding. And what else is out there? Oh, we got Khaleesi and her army. They're marching. They're making their way over. And then we also got Stannis. It kind of seems like he's rebuilding right now, kind of trying to find his confidence to form another attack. I don't know what's going on with him, but I guess he's kind of waiting on that fire priestess to come back from her little trip too, which she ran into Arya while she was out there. So she's now on her radar as well. But if you guys are looking for my full reactions to the show, the link to my Patreon is down in the description below. If you guys haven't already subscribed to the channel, now's a very good time to click that button down below. Smash that like button while you're there. With that said, let's jump right in. Let's check it out. Let's go. This is right where we left off too. Those views. Those YouTube views.
About a week, I think, when we went to Castle Black. We took the King's Road.
You and your roads. Is that how you lot do your fighting? You march down the road, banging drums and waving banners?
Most of the time, yes.
What good are they?
They help the men march.
How?
It's the rhythm.
What do you mean? Right foot, left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot. Well, you need help remembering that.
She's funny.
We won't be banging on drums to let them know we're coming.
No, you're just gonna light the biggest fire the North's ever seen to let them know you're coming.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
He knows a bit.
She's right, you don't.
This fucking guy.
Which is why you'll never hold on to her.
This guy thinks he's slick. Vision Quest has got to go. Okay. Some alone time with the king.
If you don't put some clothes on, I can't promise I won't attack you again.
Morty, you dirty little doggy.
Who are you writing?
My mother. I know she'd love to meet you. And her grandchild.
Is she pregnant?
Are you certain?
New addition to the Stark family?
I love you.
I've seen you two whispering in the night, giggling like a pair of girls.
Is he jealous?
You're jealous.
Of course I'm jealous.
Yeah.
I'd be good to you.
Kill this guy.
You love him.
I'm stupid. Stupid little girl with stupid dreams who never learn.
Yeah, their plans changed right quick. Marjorie was trying.
Walk with me.
Tywin.
I want very much for you to be happy, Sansa, and so does my grandmother. You would have been happy at Highgarden. Women in our position must make the best of our circumstances.
How do I make the best of my circumstances? I have to marry him.
She's a child.
She's a foot taller than you.
A tall child. Shay isn't going to like it.
Shay is a whore. Are you going to marry her?
Yes, he wants
How did
to.
marrying a whore work out for you the first time?
I should never have told you about that.
You want Shay, keep her. Wed one and bed the other. You'll have two women and a whole kingdom of your own.
Yeah,
Two
he's not
women
in the
to
worst
despise
predicament.
them, and a whole kingdom to join them.
Sansa is.
You waste time trying to get people to love you. You'll end up the most popular dead man in town. Evil notions come free.
Oh god, here we go. Joffrey time. It's time I'm gonna put him in his place somehow.
I'd like a report on the meetings of my small council.
You're welcome to attend the meetings of your small council, Your Grace.
You've been holding the council meetings in the Tower of the Hand instead of the small council chamber.
I have, yes.
I Why?
Well, the Tower of the Hound is where I work. The walk from there to here would take time.
So if I wanted to attend a council meeting, I would now have to climb all the stairs in the Tower of the Hand?
Deep breath, Tywin.
We could arrange to have you carried.
Tell me about the Targaryen girl in the east and her dragons.
Where did you hear about this?
Is it true?
Apparently so.
Don't you think we ought to do something about it?
Curiosities on the far side of the world are no threat to us.
But how do we know these dragons are just curiosities?
Because we have been told as much by the many experts who serve the realm by counseling the king on matters about which he knows nothing.
But I haven't been counselled.
You are being counselled at this very moment.
Ooh.
Your Grace.
I feel like Joffrey's gonna start to get pissed at Tywin too. He's a brat. But for now, Tywin's got control of him.
Now comes the noble Rasdal no Eras of that ancient and honourable house to offer terms of peace.
They're like, back the fuck
In the
up.
presence of Daenerys Stormborn of House Targaryen, Khaleesi of the Great Grass Sea, breaker of chains and mother of dragons. You may approach.
She has come so far already in 3 seasons. It's kind of crazy to see.
Many an army has broken against our walls. You shall find no easy conquest here, Khaleesi.
Good.
There is far more than this awaiting you on the deck of your ship.
And what do you ask in return?
All we ask is that you make use of these ships. Sail them back to Westeros where you belong and leave us to conduct our affairs in peace.
I have a gift for you as well. Your life.
My life.
And the lives of your wise masters, but I also want something in return. You will release every slave in Yunkai.
Okay.
Reject this gift, and I shall show you no mercy.
You are mad. Perhaps we'll make a slave of you as well. You swore me safe conduct.
I did. But my dragons made no promises, and you threatened their mother.
Yeah.
Take the gold.
No.
My gold.
They're like, fuck that.
You gave it to me, remember?
Boss.
The Yorks are proud people. They will not bend.
What happens to things that don't bend?
They break. That's a cool shot. Get all that previous wreckage. She stole Gendry.
You saying my father, he was some lord or
There. Your father's house.
just a bastard?
The bastard of Robert of the House Baratheon.
Not talking, eh? That's a first.
I don't talk to traitors.
The Red God is the one true God. You've seen his power. When he commands, we obey.
He's not my one true God.
No? Who's yours?
Death.
I can't wait to see future Arya. I feel like she's gonna be such a soldier in the future.
The raiding party.
How many?
No more than 20.
How far?
Less than a day's ride south.
What do you say, boys? Time for a lion hunt?
But what about River Run? It's not south. It's west of here. I hope the Lannisters kill you all.
One day you'll understand. But now...
Run, Arya. Try to run.
Kick all you like wolf go. Won't do you no good.
No! The Hound.
You will give my regards to Lord Tywin, I trust.
Tell Robb Stark I'm sorry he couldn't make his uncle's wedding. The Lannisters send her regards.
Don't you worry about your friend. We'll take good care of her.
Gentle, my lord.
They're like fixing him up
Only.
to be tortured more later.
Where is he?
Who, my lord? There's no one here but you, me, and Vi.
I'm sorry.
The Hornblower.
Sorry. Terrible timing.
Yo. They better not show it. If they do it, that's one thing. I don't want to see this.
This is mercy.
Did you get a bird up to Brienne's father in Tarth?
bird flew off and a bird flew back. Offered 300 gold dragons for his daughter's safe return.
Fair offer.
Fair offer. Locke won't take it. These men have been at war a long time. Most of them will be dead by winter. She'll be their entertainment tonight.
Holy fuck! An actual bear. She's already been scratched.
A wooden sword. Thought you'd gone. Gold, sapphires, whatever you want. Just get her out of there. Well, this makes me happier than all your gold ever could. And that makes me happier than all her sapphires. So go buy yourself a golden hand and fuck yourself with it.
Oh, God. He jumped in there. Kind of feel bad for the bear now. It's charging. It's charging. That's the first good thing Jamie has done in 3 seasons.
Well, must be on their way.
That was intense.
Sorry about the sapphire.
Alright guys, that was Game of Thrones Season 3, Episode 7, The Bear and the Maiden Fair. And we actually saw the bear at the end of the episode. I wasn't sure if we were going to, but we actually did. That whole scene was absolutely fantastic. Stole the show. As much as I don't like Jamie's character, or he's a character that I love to hate, I give credit where credit's due. He was definitely the MVP of this episode, and him going out of his way to save Brienne, that was absolutely amazing to see. Because, yeah, they formed a bit of a relationship, not a love relationship by any means, but they've traveled a lot this season together. They've had an entire journey, but actually, when did it start? Mid last season? Like, I feel like they were traveling together for a long time, and then to see him, he was actually finally making his way home. He was finally going to make it back to King's Landing, and then when he heard about what's actually happening to her, what her fate's going to be after tonight, he did what he had to do to make it back there. I think it was Harrenhal, and basically save her life, and he really did. So that's kind of shocking that he would go that far for her. Like, it's just one thing if he was forced to watch and then he just kind of stepped in, but he actually made sure they went back there, and then when he saw what was going down, he actually stepped in, he jumped in literally and saved her life. At first she didn't want to get behind him, but he's like, no, get behind me. He pulled her up, and you even heard her like grunt because she was already in pain. She'd already been sliced up a couple times by that bear, clawed. Like, that's freaking ridiculous. And I gotta admit, I kind of felt bad for the bear afterwards when it got shot with some arrows. I was like, for fuck's sakes, like, it's just an animal, it's getting trapped in there too. Like, these are the fuckers that did it. But yeah, he saved her life. She's now with him, so he's taking her back to King's Landing, I assume, and that's great to see. That was absolutely fantastic stuff. Stole the show, MVP of the episode. Props to Jaime Lannister. I even said in the reaction, but that's the best thing that Jaime has done in 3 seasons of the show, so that was great to see. A lot went down this episode, but there was actually a lot of love in the air this episode, because we saw King Robb and his queen. They're having a baby. There's going to be a new addition to the Stark family. That's freaking amazing to see. And then we saw more of Jon Snow and his girl. They kind of got to settle down a little bit, but I know they're kind of still in the honeymoon phase. They just hooked up, and they're still super lovey-dovey, but it's getting to be a bit too much, at least in my opinion. And then that other guy noticed as well, Vision Quest. You just know he is not going to make it through this entire season. Well, fingers crossed, because I said that last season about Theon as well, and don't worry, I'm not going to forget Theon this time. We're definitely going to get to that scene, but yeah, I highly suspect that Vision Quest is going to do something at some point before the season's over. He's going to probably try to attack Jon Snow, take his life, because he even admitted this episode that he's jealous. So yeah, and I don't think that's going to go over very well for him. Because Jon Snow, we've already seen, he's a badass, he can fight, and he's not going to let this Vision Quest boy get in the way of him and his girl. So it's only a matter of time before that goes down, and I got to say, I'm not going to be mad when it does go down, because I don't like that Vision Quest guy. Ever since he was introduced, he just kind of looked off to me, and I was like, got my eye on this character. So yeah, this episode definitely further proved it as well. But Theon, I told you I was going to discuss it further. I was baffled. At first, I honestly thought that he was maybe tortured so badly that he was in like a lucid state or having some sort of dream to basically forget about the torture, and then he was just going to come to it at some point and then realize that, yeah, he's still being tortured. That didn't happen exactly, but it was definitely a setup. That hornblower that you guys basically told me about, like, you were building that up for me, and man, that guy is evil. But I was thinking one thing that I didn't actually say during my reaction. I wanted to make sure I saved it for the end during my recap, and that's his father, because last episode we saw, obviously, King Robb beheaded his father. I don't think that news has traveled back to him up until this point, but when it does, and Theon's in his possession, is he then going to use Theon to possibly work with him and go against King Robb? That's one of my biggest fears that came up to me this episode. I just thought of it, so I really hope that's not the case, because this guy's already sick in the head. He's a psycho. He's fucked. But he knows that Theon already turned his back on King Robb, so the enemy of my enemy is my friend, as they say. So who knows what's going to happen with that, but I really hope that's not the case. Otherwise, where else is that story going to go? Is he just going to keep on torturing from here to the end of the show? Which I won't be mad at, but some of that's pretty hard to see. And oh my god, I completely forgot. Did he lose? You know what? Because that scene made it look, they were holding him down, that they were going to take you know what. I feel like that's what the girls were there for, just to kind of mess with them a little bit before they eventually took it. So I don't know if they're actually going to go through with it or if they actually did, because and thank God they didn't show it, because that would be some graphic stuff, and I was even starting to clench up like, oh God, are they going to do it? I don't really want to see this. So I guess we'll find out next episode, which is very interesting. What else went down this episode is Arya. That was a big moment. It happened very quickly, but she ran away, and I was like, there's really no point in running. She's going to get captured in like 2 seconds. But she seemed to get away, like, or get a little bit of distance between her and the Brotherhood. And then guess who grabbed her? The Hound. So that's not good. He's still out there. What the hell is he doing even hanging around there still? I thought they let him go and he got his possessions, and he was allowed to carry on. He won his trial by combat. So what is he still doing hanging around there? Was he kind of looking out for her? That's very interesting. I really don't know. That's kind of like the big stuff that went down this episode. I don't know what that's going to lead to, if they're going to kind of work together, because we did see that he was willing to help Sansa last season in season 2, episode 9. So I don't know. I don't feel like he's fully like a full-blooded bad killer. Like, yeah, he will kill, but deep down, I feel like there's some good to him, but we'll see what comes of it, I guess. What else did I want to bring up? There was another thing too. Oh, I did want to say, last season I let you guys know, I was honest with you guys. In terms of Khaleesi's story, I wasn't very fond of the car stuff, even though at the very end of it, yeah, there was some payoff when she kind of got her revenge. But this season, I'm loving Khaleesi stuff. That I'm not even talking about that. That whole dragon scene was absolutely fantastic. Those dragons and her, she's a boss now. That shit was badass. I freaking love that scene that went down this episode with her. But the reason why I was bringing up the car stuff and not liking that last season is because the one story arc that I'm not really feeling this season, if I'm being completely honest with you guys, and I always strive to be, is Bran's storyline. Like, I know, like, they're still traveling themselves. They had to escape Theon and his wrath, but I don't know what it's leading to. It's kind of boring in my opinion up until this point. Every time they go back to it, I'm like, all right, here's just another vision. What's gonna happen now? Like more ravens, but I'm sure it's leading somewhere. Don't get me wrong, and I'm sure the payoff is gonna be fucking excellent. But up until this point, the build up for that story arc, if I'm being completely honest with you guys, I'm not 100% feeling. But hey, we'll see what comes of it. As always, definitely let me know what you guys thought in the comments down below. If you guys can like, subscribe, really helps my channel grow. Until next time, I am out. Enjoy your day. Peace.
Well, I didn't smoke enough for you, didn't drink enough for you, wasn't full enough for you, wasn't good enough for you, damn. You play me like a yo-yo and shit. Well, I'm not the one